This is Jet of Metal Messiah Radio, and we're here with
Devin Townsend. Yeah.
Yay! In hot, steamy Worcester.
It is a little
and
Worcester.
Welcome back to Worcester.
Well, thank you very much. Yeah,
I'm going to wipe my sweaty brow here over my lip or whatever.
It's a lip, right?
It's a lip.
Yeah.
Okay, so Devin.
Yes.
How's the tour been so far?
It has been really good. I mean, it's been grim in terms of the bus situation. Our bus has broken down like 8 times, I think, and it's strange. Right before I left on this tour, I had this whole life plan, and I was like, I'm not going to rush anymore. You know, I'm going to eat my food slowly. I'm going to make sure that if there's something that I'm going to do, I'm going to get there an hour before so I can like relax. This tour, however, has been a test of manhood in that way because we've been rushing for a month. The bus breaks down, we roll in 10 minutes before we go on, we have to pound our stuff on. All of a sudden the house music comes on and it's some blazing, shitty death metal band, and I'm just like, oh my lord, right?
Cover your shirt up there.
Yeah. That's good.
This is a good one.
Yeah, that's good. But I mean, you know, there's like some that you're just like,
what the hell?
well, yeah, it's like a soundtrack to like, you know, some 15-year-old kid's emotional breakdown, right? And I think that it's like, the thing that is important to me about heavy metal and like really heavy music is like not that. However, it seems to be the soundtrack for almost every house guy on this tour has been like the most annoying music ever, right?
Like they're doing it on purpose.
However, the tour itself has been really good because we are sort of the odd band out, obviously, and I think you know, my relationship with all the other bands is really good. Like I made some really good friends with like Obscura and Septic Flesh and Children of Bodom, right? So it's not like we don't fit in with like the social element of it, but I think from a musical point of view, I think that what has been good on this tour is we're able to offer sort of an option.
Right.
You know, we're definitely a little lighter hearted, you know, and I think metal is metal in a lot of ways, and
that might be good though during the tour. They kind of can cleanse their palate a little bit between, you know.
Yeah, we're the pink ginger on the side of the Wasabi tour, right?
There you go.
That's right.
That could be your next side project, Devin. Pink ginger.
Ginger. I was already with ginger.
Okay, so let's go way back in the day when, you know, you first started out, right? When Stevie Vai asked you to come perform with them. I know. Italian.
Yeah, nice.
With him.
Yes.
And you were like, sure, I'll be happy to go with you. What happened that turned you off to this industry, Devin?
Oh, what was it?
Tell.
Okay, I think my connection to music has always been, well, I don't, you know, I'm not a religious guy. I'm not a particularly intelligent guy, but, you know, I've had experiences in my life where, you know, I'm just like, well, there's something that's like way cooler than me. Nature's cooler than me. The universe is cooler than me. It is. I really agree. And so my connection to music has always been like, you know, I don't think any of us write music. I think music is just kind of there, and we're privy to it. And so my connection to it when I was a kid was like, it's a spiritual thing, right? And I moved to LA, and it was like, now we're going to package it up, and we're going to sell it with like, you know, this, that, and the other thing. And it wasn't Steve, because me and Steve are good friends, right? But the whole industry was just so crass, and the thing that I went down there with stars in my eyes, going, you know, we're gonna sing about this, and we're gonna do this and that and the other thing, and it just was just like, you know, bullshit that comes with LA, right? You know, fake abdominal muscles and perfect teeth, right? And as a 19-year-old, my emotional reaction to that was to like poop in his guitar case, so, you know, as one does, right? Yeah,
come on.
Several times.
Who are you talking to here?
So I think again, it's like, you know, my experiences in the industry has allowed me to make, you know, observations personally with my music that I think are of some significance.
Sure.
I guess. I mean, I like what I do. I really think it's cool. I don't think it's important, but I think it's cool, right? And what I do think is important, though, is through these mistakes and various bowel movements that have like led me to where I am in guitar cases.
Devin was here.
Yeah, you know, I think I really like to play for people, and I think music is really fucking cool. And I think that heavy music, even though, to be perfectly honest, I'm like, I don't want to say growing out of it, because that implies that, you know, it's like a step in that direction as opposed to this direction. But you know, my connection to it is definitely changing.
Sure.
And I'm happy.
Yeah, that's all
So
that.
through all this shit,
Your
I'm still good.
spiritual journey
Yeah,
is leading you somewhere else.
I think it is.
That's all.
Yeah, and I think where it's leading me to is, you know, the church of I have no fucking idea.
If you weren't doing this, what do you think you'd be doing? Starbucks?
No, my work skills are definitely limited to certain things. What I do like actually is I like to go to woodworking school.
I was just gonna say
I
you're gonna
like
build
that.
an ark or something.
Fuck that.
I'm sorry, I'm thinking a grand scale.
You know, see the problem with it is it all comes back to like religion, right? I hate religion.
Oh, I
You know,
actually
I
think so.
absolutely hate it, and I think the thing is, but I do like connections to like tangible things, right?
Sure.
And like, she said, sure, yeah,
Sure.
hippie son of a bitch.
Yeah.
But I do think that you ask me a question. This is how I would answer. Yeah, I go to woodworking school and I play bass in a folk band, ladies and gentlemen.
Wow.
That's right. I don't know why I do it.
And then the next interview I would do is let my armpit hair grow out. Hey.
I think hairpin is a good thing to go on.
Hairpin. Next project.
Yeah, totally.
Right
Let's
after
do
Big
it.
Ginger.
What are you gonna do? I'll play bass.
Hairpit, my bass player right here.
Yeah, there.
Yeah, right.
You heard it here
That's right. So we're gonna braid our pits together.
That's right.
On stage.
Mm-hmm.
To one of us
Everybody's
falls.
going to be doing it after
Trump is
that.
gonna be good.
Everybody's going to be doing it
On
after that.
Blabbermouth.
Blabbermouth.
Hairpin singer gets armpit hair ripped
dumb
out.
bitch?
No, it's
What's
just-
wrong with her? She's with a legend and she's doing.
No, I have a feeling people won't think you're dumb.
Oh, okay. Here's another thing I wanted to mention too.
Good.
I was talking to Gene Hoagland,
Awesome,
right?
yeah.
He fucking loves you, by the way.
I love him
it's
with
like
all my
a
heart.
bro
Yeah,
thing going on
absolutely.
here. And when I was talking to him, and he was telling me that, yeah, I know he really loves
I
you.
love him
It's
too.
okay.
Yeah,
Are you
feels
done
good.
now?
Yeah.
All right.
No. Hey.
I would give you a
Let me
sleep.
finish. I'm not done. Give me 2 seconds. Here we go.
Nice.
Okay, now then.
Well, anyways, when he was telling me about working with you,
Yeah.
he said you're the type of person that's like, okay, let's do this, but you're not letting anybody go till that's done. Is that true?
Yeah.
You're just, once you start something, you've got to get it done right away. And do you think that's a good thing?
I think it's a sign of obsessive compulsive disorder. No, but I think.
Drugs for that.
I think. Well, okay. My personality type is pretty much when I have a vision for something, I'm very good with commitment.
Mm-hmm.
You know, even if it means that, you know, in the case of strapping, where there was a certain time where I was just like, I don't want to do this.
Right.
But we finished it.
Mm-hmm.
We finished the deal,
Mm-hmm.
right? And, you know, I've been married for 20 years, and it's like when I think there's a real, like, awesome artistic element to committing to things, because once you do, all the rest of those options are no longer like
Right.
in your frame of mind. And so for making music, I'm like, for better or for worse, let's do this until it's done.
Yeah.
And then at that point we can stand back and say, wow, that's really shitty, and then let it go. But
Move on.
you know, the thing for me is like to find a team of like-minded people is like very difficult.
Sure.
Right? And the drummer holds the drummer holds the ladder, right?
Sure.
So what the intention of the band comes from is like in which way the drummer chooses to like move the ladder, right?
Mm-hmm.
My connection to Gene was unlike any connection that I've had to any musician, right? And yeah, I love him too. And I think the thing with us is though is we kind of, when we're together, we always kind of like streamlined and hardwired ourselves to like a certain sound. And after a while, I was just like, man, this is like, I'm like really tired, right? Like,
Yeah, we all do.
you know,
Yeah, sure.
yeah, but it's like, you know, him and I went through like some experiences
Sure.
that were like incredibly uncomfortable musically, right? But
Oh, I thought it was
If-
going to be something else. Dude, tell us.
yeah, so we went through some experiences that were like the messy man love. But you know, the thing that I ended up with in the situation with Gene is it's like to go through that period of my life where I felt like those are the things that I needed to like try and figure out, which ultimately I didn't figure out, but I did go through. I could have never chosen to do it with like a better friend, right?
Yeah.
Come on, roast me. Come on, do something where you make me feel like a douche.
Now I feel
right?
bad after that sappy little
That's
dude.
what I do.
That
That's
was
my trip.
beautiful.
I'm like, yeah. Feel free to roast me, man.
That was a beautiful thing. Okay, so your man's telling us we got to wrap it up here. But before we do, now Devin,
your bum keeps sticking to the seat.
I know. You get that in?
Hopefully the sound's really good.
That's right.
Because you know better.
Yeah, that's right.
Now,
I don't know better.
I have the golden bag here.
I've got a golden bag too.
That's for a different interview, okay? That's right. I knew there was a story in there somewhere. I wasn't going to push for it.
I love you.
I said,
You're awesome.
You're the best. This is the third interview you've done with us here at Metal Messiah Radio. So, you have earned on your third interview the Metal Messiah Radio shirt. All that for the...
Here you go. I'll spare you the
nakedness. Because then we'll have the same reaction as Gene did.
Well, I know. The problem is all your male readers should be like, I wish I had a physique like that.
That's true. We don't want to. Anybody.
Some people got a six-pack. I got a party ball.
Metal Messiah Radio.
Do you mind if I break my camera out while we're doing
Now
that?
you have to take pictures. if it's okay. You don't mind a couple pictures. I don't want to.
Hold on. Black out for a second.
Yes, we even got the high-tech. We'll have the good camera.
I got the good camera for...
I bet you a party with you and IPEC, which is pretty intense, though. Yeah.
Did
she wipe you out?
Scared. Yes!
Yeah.
You see how intense she is?
Yes, I do.
We'll be doing shots of IPEC's hot sauce and Jaeger.
Yeah, that's the impression I get, right? Yeah.
Jeez. Okay, Smiley.
Oh, hold on.
Nice.
Okay, it'll be good now.
And I think one more.
Thank you. Yeah.
This one will be like my ass cheek. Okay?
I'll do the same.
These are ass cheeks.
All right, I gotta get back just a little, Aaron.
Okay. Thank you for exposing yourself.
I have exposed myself for 20 years.
I know. Gene told me all about it. It's been absolute. Last I talked to him was just before he went on tour with Fear Factory, and he's
Recently?
like, and then he's like. I don't know if I'm going to stay with Fear Factory because their touring is so extensive, and he's still there. The second year, right? Okay, Gene. I think they're like taking them, putting them on nice air conditions, feeding them, probably have a maid service, all that kind of crap. And
similar to our situation.
Oh, I could see. Definitely. And in between, he's just crying about missing you.
Yeah, I know.
You know, Devin, it's been an absolute pleasure.
You too, absolutely.
Absolutely.
Thank you so
and I look forward to seeing the show.
Thank you, brother.